because I'm a huge fan of getting some sort of regulatory actions in on crypto because I think it's going to help crypto. Like, you want grandma and grandpa to invest in Bitcoin. Well, they're not doing it unless there's FDIC insurance on a Bitcoin, on a spot account, right? Because there's too much risk of them getting catfished or whatever, and then they lose all their money. And same thing with pension funds. Like, no pension fund with trillions of dollars is going to throw half a billion or billions in without knowing the framework that the government wants. So those are all things that will draw more money in. But then how do you keep it just at that point and not have the overreach?
Hello and welcome to Crypto Street. In today's video, President and Chief Market Strategist at InTheMoneyStocks.com and verified crypto investing Gareth Soloway updates about his outlook on Bitcoin and the probability of upcoming bull run and the best buying opportunity for Bitcoin.
I think honestly, one of the reasons why Bitcoin's gotten so quiet recently, and it's been really quiet, is that I think the market is expecting we're going to get some more framework on regulation. So you're not seeing big buyers come in, but at the same time, the sellers have been exhausted, at least for now. And so people are just waiting. When are we going to hear more information? And by the way, one thing I've said is that I think that when we do get that framework and the SEC releases the framework on the rules, and again, Bitcoin probably a commodity, most other things a security, but that's fine. But the question I have is, are there new rules for crypto securities that are different from stock securities like Apple or Microsoft? And I think that's what we're going to have to see. But I do think that once that happens, you do see a relief and a move up in crypto at that point.
Bitcoin spent another day comfortably perched above $19,000 and well within the narrow range it has held for more than a month. Peter Brandt told CoinDesk TV that investors should not expect much to change for the foreseeable future and that the largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization might drop as low as $13,000. Investors in crypto and other markets for risk assets continue to eye US.
I think I've been impressed because the equity markets, the stock market has been heading generally down and Bitcoin's really been going sideways. So it's showing us glimpses of what it could be.
Yeah.
I do worry that it's not quite mature enough yet to fully kind of disconnect from the risk asset style that it's been kind of caught in. But there's no doubt that it's showing us glimpses of what it can do. And that's great. And again, we just have to remember that, like, you're 16, right? So I guess Bitcoin would be the equivalent of a 13-year-old.
Yes.
So your 13-year-old can show signs of maturity, but at the same time, they're still going to be immature because they're a 13-year-old sometimes too. So you're seeing that kind of mid-level where sometimes it's doing the right thing, sometimes it's still kind of crazy.
In an interview with CoinDesk, GSR Markets Global Head of Product Ben Wabask said that any lessening of the current dose of steep interest rate hikes would spur a knee-jerk reaction. It will be a sharp move higher for risk assets, he said. The Bitcoin community is divided about whether the token's price is going to surge or crash in the year ahead. A majority of analysts and technical indicators suggest it could bottom between $12,000 and $16,000 in the months to come. This correlates with a volatile macroeconomic environment, stock prices, inflation, Federal Reserve data, and at least according to Elon Musk, a possible recession that could last until 2024.
If we go back to the 2017 highs, right? So this is where we are in crypto, and it's really, like you said, I mean, like, so sideways and just consolidating. Number one, we have this beautiful, what we call a wedge pattern. So at least in the short term, if we can break above, I think you have a shot to maybe get up to about 25,000. So that's kind of cool if we can get the breakout. But please note, it hasn't happened yet. You're literally stuck in this tiny little triangle niche, and we need to see that breakout occur. But going back to what you were saying about, like, where we could be in the cycle and how it's just getting so quiet, look at what happened back in the previous cycle of 2017. And this is my only concern. So basically, we had that big fall down here from here's your 2017 high, lots of chop on the way down. And then look at what happened here. It just goes to sleep and then sleep. And look at how tight it got. And then all of a sudden,
It
right?
fell off the bed.
That's my only fear, right? Is that we're doing that kind of period. And then if it does start to break, it's going to be a big break. And then but the positive is, all right, let's always look at the positives here.
Okay.
The positive is that was the final flush before the bottom. So even if this is what we're doing right here, at least if it dips, I'm a buyer. Heck yeah, I'm a buyer. Because at that point, then if we zoom out, look at what ends up happening, right? It bottoms out, curls up. And then this was just the beginning of the bigger bull run that eventually led us up to the current, double top high here. So it's a tricky one, right? I mean, it's like you look at these past charts and we know human behavior occurs or repeats over and over again, but you hope it's different this time. So we'll just have to see.
Federal Reserve's next rate hike, a widely expected 75 basis points, is still 2 weeks away. But on Tuesday, the Conference Board will release October's Consumer Confidence Index, showing a likely decline. Toward the middle of the week, observers will be able to scrutinize housing starts and durable goods orders.
Let's be fair, right? This is the first bear market for Bitcoin with no Fed printing of money. So I think we just have to be aware that like a lot of people are saying, okay, well, we should bottom here soon and start moving up, because past cycles generally lasted about 12 months before they bottomed out, right? Well, the problem is that all those past cycles, there was money printing that helped us kind of push it up. So just to be on the safe side, I'm preparing myself for a slightly longer bear market just because the Fed's not bailing us out. Now, if the Fed came out and started lowering interest rates next week or whenever, then I think, all right, now it's bull on again in Bitcoin. But we just have to see with the Fed here, because it's kind of the first time this is happening.
In traditional markets, U.S. stocks were buoyant for a second trading consecutive day amid faint signs that the U.S. central bank might ratchet back its current hawkish monetary policies early next year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 closed up 1.3% and 1.2%, respectively.
Like, this is what's so crazy is, like, if you think about the run up that we had here, it was exactly what you're saying. It's like, was it fake? I mean, obviously price action was real. People made money, people lost money, but there was so much money. I mean, in the US, we had the government sending checks out to people. People were home from COVID, and so they weren't driving and spending money on vacations. I mean, there was so much extra money plus quantitative easing from the Fed that the question is if we didn't have COVID, would we have ever gotten this high on Bitcoin? I don't know.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing about it. Yeah, I agree. It's by no means are we at a bottom yet, because the one thing I remember clearly from 2018, after we topped in 2017, is when we did hit the bottom, people were like, there were a lot of people that were giving up on Bitcoin at that point, and we haven't seen that yet. So it does make me think there's that one final flush where finally you'll get to see that, which is a kind of that mentality. Now, in the short term, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we did see a short-term relief rally, and if we could just break above this line, we would get it. I mean, I think you'd get a little short squeeze even above it. But again, even if we pop up, then I still, for me, it's still telling me further downside, which again, I hate to say, I hate to be that person, but also the charts are what I follow, and it still doesn't look like we've fully bottomed out yet. But as I said, buying opportunity, like you want it, and by the way, could I just say something here quick?
Yeah.
So last year, Bitcoin was like 65, 69,000. I come out and I'm like, hi guys, charts are saying we're going to 20. Like, just be aware. Oh, you're crazy, Gareth. You're smoking that too much of that stuff, whatever they said. And then people were like on Twitter, they're like, you know what, if Bitcoin gets to 20 again, oh my God, I'm going to sell my kidney to buy Bitcoin, right? Well, here we are at 20, and I don't see anyone selling their kidney.
Literally, I even tweeted Gareth during the bull market, would you sell your pinky toe for Bitcoin? And a lot of people were willing to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't see anyone willing to sell their pinky toes right now.
No.
So, what do you think about Gareth Soloway's prediction about Bitcoin price? Tell us in the comments. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.